Have you seen healthcare evolve?
Let me tell you, there is a 360-degree turn. Of course, the root canals have not changed. Yeah.
Are they still as painful as they used to be?
They're not. They're
Okay.
not because of the, again, digital and AI involvement. 20 years back, India was 50 years behind.
Wow.
Currently, India is not that behind. India has almost all the technologies that are happening around the world.
I read this poem and it had a reference to dentistry. This was written by Ogden Nash. He's a celebrated American poet. Some pains are physical, some are mental. The one that is both is dental.
People also compare dental pains to, if there's mother, they'll always come and tell us that, delivering a child was easier. Hollywood smiles are not real. आप just snap on करो. You go to a party, the smile looks good. You come home and move it on.
So you put on a smile.
You can
like
put
literally.
on a smile. That could be pain around the face, neck pain. Can be or is directly related to a bad bite. That internal team needs to work in sync.
Your body is the only thing that lasts your lifetime.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you're as good as your team. So
Yeah.
the internal team जैसे ही अच्छी हो जाएगी, you will be.
सब कुछ ठीक हो जाएगा.
Exactly. Muscle build करने से सब कुछ नहीं होता.
सब कुछ नहीं होता. We at SaveIN are building a healthcare fintech platform. हम चाहते हैं कि सारे Indians healthy and fit रहें, and we are in the business of enabling people to split their medical expenses into 0% interest EMIs. We currently work with thousands of healthcare practices: dermatology, hair transplants, ophthalmology, dentistry, gym memberships, Zumba, Pilates, Ayurveda, veterinary, fertility treatments, you name it. On the SaveIN platform, you can avail any treatment of your choice and pay for your medical expenses into easy monthly installments. यानी कि जैसे आप एक मोबाइल फ़ोन खरीदते हैं या जैसे आप ट्रैवल के लिए कई बार टिकट्स बुक करते हैं और पेमेंट्स मंथली इंस्टॉलमेंट्स में कर सकते हैं, अब आप SaveIN के किसी भी हेल्थ केयर पार्टनर जाके वो सेम एक्सपीरियंस हेल्थ केयर के लिए ले सकते हैं. We were getting a lot of requests from our customers, and I think people want to learn about healthcare. Indians today are so passionate about being healthy, being fit, and preventive healthcare is so important. So हमने सोचा कि हम एक पॉडकास्ट प्लेटफॉर्म तैयार करें जहां पे we will invite experienced healthcare practitioners from various domains, and they can come and share their experiences about healthcare, wellness, and fitness. This is our very first podcast, and I'm thrilled to introduce you to a practitioner who is disrupting how Indians consume dental care. Her name is Dr. Riddhi Rathi, and she's the founder of Orthosquare. Orthosquare has more than 100 dental clinics across the country, and I am delighted to introduce you to Dr. Riddhi today. Hi, Dr. Riddhi.
Hi, how are you?
I am good, and I must tell you, this is our first podcast. So it's wonderful to have you here, and firsts are always special.
Excellent. I'm also very excited.
As you said, as a doctor, podcasts seldom happen.
Yeah,
So हमने ये सोचा that we are in the business of healthcare.
correct.
We want to make Indians healthier. That's our
Yes.
business, as you know.
Yes.
So we thought, why not build a platform where practitioners like yourself can
Correct.
come on a platform like this? And I'm sure a lot of Indians want to know stories about healthcare.
They do want to know stories about healthcare entrepreneurs. They also want to know what is new in Indian healthcare industry. And I think there's a huge change in the way people look at healthcare today. Previously, it was like only if you have pain or a problem, you'll go to a
That's right. Yeah.
doctor.
Yeah.
But now, currently, you also take prevention
Yeah.
seriously. So
Yeah.
I think, this is
Yeah.
a need of an hour.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So tell me this. Tell me about your journey. When did you decide to become a dentist, and why a dentist? And tell me that story.
Years back.
When was this?
I'm a batch of 2001, 2002.
Okay.
So that's 21 years
Yeah.
back. Okay, as you know, I'm a dentist. So 70%, 90% of the dentists don't want to become the dentist.
Acha. Okay.
They want to come into healthcare.
Mhm.
So its first choices are always MBBS, then dentistry, maybe then homeopathy, Ayurveda. Today that line is blur, but 20 years back, yeah. So I always wanted to become a doctor. There was never a second opinion or a second thought that in career choices. This was something that I wanted to do. If you talk from the first 2 years, it was all about education and all. From the third year, it became passion.
Passion.
And when I started my practice in 2007, I'm practicing since 2006, but as a doctor, I started practicing since 2007.
Okay.
Um, uh, the idea was only very simple: be better than yourself that you were yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
So, and there's so much to learn. There's so much to learn. Then I went on to do MDS. I was working 2 years. Then I took a break and I went to do MDS. And since 2011, I'm running Orthosquare with my husband, my partner, Dr. Kunal Sheth.
Mm-hmm.
And the initial idea of the clinic was to provide healthcare at affordable rates. That was always our idea.
Okay.
And during that pattern, what happened is a lot of doctors joined us.
Right.
Now we had a small clinic. After a point, where do you place these doctors? No? And they're good. But sometimes a lot of doctors couldn't open their clinics. A, because of maybe financial barriers.
Yeah.
B, because familial barriers. You know, in India,
Yeah.
you know, a girl has to get married. So,
Yeah.
where will you go?
Yeah.
And you know, all of that. So, uske karan bhi lot of time they cannot open a clinic.
Right.
And third could be lack of confidence, maybe. And that made us start our centers.
So you started with one center.
I started with one.
And this was back in
2012.
Okay. Almost 11 years, yeah.
Yeah, 11 years back. And to let you know, I opened a second branch and I closed the second branch.
Oh.
So from there, I'm sure anybody in my position would have got scared that, you know, opening branches is not really a good idea. But when you say na ki failure is one step closer. Failure is one step closer to your journey.
Right.
So
Dal ke aage jeet hai.
Yeah, that was it. So that's how we actually began Orthosquare.
Wonderful.
Started from 1 to 7, then 18.
And today,
it was very slow.
100.
100. Yes,
that's
right.
so inspirational. That's so inspirational. So when you started your journey of dentistry,
Correct.
and you know, it's been like, as you said, 2 decades, you started studying and then you started practicing. How have you seen that dentistry has evolved? बहुत चेंज हो गई है, लाइफ हम सबकी बदल गई है. आज से 20 साल पहले उतने स्मार्टफोन्स नहीं थे. Today everything is digital. Everybody is talking about digital money, digital, you know, you buy clothes digitally, you eat food, order food digitally. You have your, you know, everything, cars are becoming digital, education has become digital. So how have you seen healthcare evolve?
Let me tell you, there is a 360-degree turn.
Okay.
Yeah. Of course, the root canals have not changed. Yeah.
Are they still as painful as they used to be?
They're not. They're not because of the, again, digital and AI involvement.
Well, I have had 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know. I'll comment on that later.
Yeah. Okay.
Let me tell you. So initially, जब हम root canals करते थे, we used to have 4 steps because, you know, it was all hand.
Yep.
Then came, you know, machine root canals.
And that probe used to go inside and, you know, it would hit a nerve and then...
Please don't make dentistry sound so evil.
Oh, okay.
You know, almost all our patients imagine that we have horns, you know, we are like those Yamraj.
Yeah.
So please don't make it, it's not painful, guys.
Okay.
Let me tell you all.
Okay. That's wonderful to hear.
Yeah. So, of course, the way it has evolved, I'm talking about root canal because it's the simplest thing people connect with, right?
Right.
So if you think from the root canal perspective, we came to machine root canals. We're now doing one sitting root canals. We came to laser root canals.
Wow.
And now, with the help of AI, digital, we're able to actually gauge the length digitally. So the process that was too much manual is very precise now.
Wow.
So the life also is becoming better of any treatment. This is just one aspect.
Right.
Currently, at Orthosquare also, I'm fully digital.
Okay.
My x-rays are digital. So no more dippings. The clarities are gone, nothing. You can see precisely. 1:1.
Right.
Introduction of digital scanners. So basically, previously, you know, I'm sure you would have gone for a cap and a lot of people have gone for caps.
Yeah.
So, ऐसे ना एक chewing gummy type of alginate goes into your mouth, which tastes like strawberry.
Impression.
Impressions.
I know that.
Yes. So now impressions are made digital.
Okay.
So itna precision ho gaya hai. The treatment has become so precise, and now the whole complete transfer of data from our clinics to lab has become a minute's job.
Mhm.
Yeah. And even caps are made digitally. So digital transformation in dentistry is massive.
Mhm.
And 20 years back, India was 50 years behind.
Wow.
Currently, India is not that behind. India has almost all the technologies that are happening around the world. We have caught up so fast. Indian
That is so
dentistry currently is
wonderful.
the most respected, or Indian healthcare for that matter, is
Yeah.
the most respected in the world.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's a lot of changes.
There is a lot of talk about medical tourism.
Oh,
I
wow.
think, I was reading statistics because we do this as a business. I
Correct.
think Indian dental is about $5 billion in market size.
Yeah, it's bigger
And
than that.
it is growing at about 20% annually, maybe growing, bigger than that, right?
Yes.
So how do you see this evolving? And you talked about India used to be 50 years behind 20 years back, but not so much now. So do you see that a lot of people could start traveling to India for dental?
They're already doing.
Already doing, yeah?
Yeah, I'm doing that for 10 years now.
Wow, okay.
And I am sure a lot of dentists are doing for 20-25 years. The Indian dentistry, the dentists are very qualified. So the
Yeah.
colleges are doing good job.
Yeah,
B, the technology is there.
yeah.
C, we can give fast treatments. So
Okay.
in short span, the treatment can be done.
Mhm.
And all of this at a price,
Which is 1/3, 1/4, 1/5.
maybe a price of say dinner in US.
Wow.
Yeah. So we are 1/3. If you think from the perspective, I'll just give you a short example, and it's not just US.
Yeah.
My friend ne Hong Kong mein,
Hmm.
he did one extraction for 11,000 Hong Kong dollars.
Wow.
Yeah, that's like 55, 60,
Something
thousand.
like that, yeah.
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 Which in India is done for what? 500,
1,000 bucks.
1,500.
Yeah, 1,500.
Depending on the location, maybe
Yeah.
5,000, 8,000.
Yeah.
That's like hardly anything.
Hardly anything.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, that is tremendous. And I think that's the power that we Indians are bringing, perhaps, right? And I think this is becoming the age of India.
Yeah, it
आप
is.
किसी से भी बात करो,
Yeah.
suddenly everybody's proud Indian, and
Yeah.
everything is moving at a certain pace in every direction. And I think healthcare, fundamentally, I believe that healthcare is ripe for disruption.
Yeah, correct.
When I say that everything around us has moved so rapidly in the
Mm.
last decade, especially, but and it was wonderful to hear and learn from you that dental may, for example, वो बहुत rapid strides as an industry, has taken. But I still believe that the next decade is a lot about healthcare, because I'll pick on something that you said earlier. People used to focus only on the curative part. Today, people are so passionate about being
Right.
healthy, looking better, preventive, stitch in time says 9. That entire concept is coming about. So do you see that change? Is that very apparent?
See, I'll tell you. I'm sure you know that only 2 to 5% or 10% are taxpayers.
Yeah.
Yeah. So dentistry is there.
Mhm.
If I'll tell you, I think we are just tapped into 1, maybe 2%, maybe 5% of the population.
Hmm.
So India does not need to look for tourism.
Hmm.
India needs to look for education,
Hmm.
awareness. So if I talk about metro cities, yes, there is awareness. There's people who want to have preventive cleanings, and they want to have better healthcare for themselves.
Yeah.
What people don't understand is dentist is not a real doctor. Okay. That's a thought process, because dentist is a dentist.
Mhm.
But think about it. Why did God make teeth the first part of your digestive system? Why? Why is mouth the first part of digestive system? Today, the awareness that there is a lot of diseases which are directly related to mouth.
Yeah, I've read
Yeah.
about that. Yeah.
Some kind of facial pains
Yeah.
directly related to mouth.
Neuro.
It's actually not neuro pains.
Mhm.
I have treated neuro pains which were not really neuro also.
Okay.
Nothing against the neurosurgeons. Of course, they are doing their jobs. But sometimes that we do not realize is how dentistry is related. For an example, simple example, diabetes.
Yeah, I was about to say that.
Yeah, diabetes. When the infection in the mouth is high,
Yeah.
diabetes is high. Direct correlation. Lot of articles you can read about it.
Yeah.
When the when oral bacteria, right, and oral cavity also has a lot of salivary amylase, salivary lipase, salivary protease. What's that? Basically breaks down a complex thing, like a complex carbohydrate, into fructose and glucose. Is done first in the mouth, and when you're chewing, the bolus mixes. Now these knowledges are being spread, and that's why the people have become so conscious about everything.
कि हमें टूथ क्लीनिंग होनी
रखना ही
चाहिए.
चाहिए, क्योंकि अगर आप अच्छी च्यूइंग नहीं कर पाओगे,
राइट.
आप कितना ही ऑर्गेनिक खा लो, या इट्स नॉट टू हेल्प.
वो जाना तो माउथ से ही है.
जाना तो माउथ से ही है.
Right, right.
Yeah.
Oh, that's wonderful. I think our viewers would enjoy this a lot, and I think ये जो insight है about dentistry. I remember as a kid, I read this poem, and it had a reference to dentistry. This was written by Ogden Nash. He's a celebrated American poet. So it said something like this. I don't recall it, but it said that some pains are physical, some are mental. The one that is both is dental.
And what I feel is, that's so true, because ultimately, see, people also compare dental pains to, if there's mother, they'll always come and tell us that, delivering a child was easier.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Okay.
Than the dental pain. So I do get that, but why let it come to pain?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, if prevention starts, right, and if companies like you come in market who can help them get a primary checkup done
On time.
On time, you'll not have dental pains.
Yeah. No, that's wonderful. So, and I think, that's the part I was maybe trying to get your understanding on. That do you see that there's a very apparent change in the way people, consume healthcare? Is healthcare becoming an essential item in a household, today, wherein people just don't wait to get hospitalized, for example, let's say, and the same could be true for teeth. Is that change happening amongst the younger customers younger patients that you cater to? No?
No. We're far from there.
Far from there.
We're very far from there.
And what do you think the reason is?
I think we're workaholics.
Mm-hmm.
We give work the most priority. Then maybe if we have some time, we save it for ourselves. Actually not. We give work the most priority. If we have some time, we'll give it to our friends. Then if we have some time, we might give it to our family and everything. Then if we have a drop of time, we will take care of our health. And it's all true for 95% of the population of India.
But is that only dentistry? Because we see that a lot of people today want to be fit. So people suddenly have realized that मुझे ना fit लगना है, मुझे अच्छा दिखना है, मुझे fit रहना है, right? And there is a ton of work going around where people are saying that diabetes is a lifestyle disorder. It's not a disease, right? A lot of people say diabetes is not a disease, it's a lifestyle disorder. So let's attack diabetes, or let's say hypertension, right? So in dentistry, हमने भी देखा है, and like at SaveIN, we have almost 1,000 dental partners, and we see that, we talk to people, we want to understand this better. That कई बार लोग ऐसा क्यों होता है इंडिया में, या मे बी हम वेस्टर्न वर्ल्ड से थोड़ा पीछे इस बारे में, अडॉप्शन रेट्स ऑफ डेंटल लेट्स से ट्रीटमेंट्स, क्यों लोग हेजिटेंट रहते हैं अबाउट टेकिंग लेट्स से द राइट ट्रीटमेंट एट द राइट टाइम?
I'm surprised at that, because I'll tell you. So I was on a trip recently.
Right.
And
I know you travel a lot and you've gone around the globe.
So as I said, what's in life? Work and travel.
Travel. Yeah. So and you've taken a lot of trainings also abroad, huh?
Like I love doing that, because there's a perception that you get.
Yeah.
So I was in this train, okay, and Munich. I had gone to an international dental show. It is one of the biggest in the world.
Okay.
And happens in March.
Right.
So I went to that, and then I went to Munich, right? And I was in the train with Americans, people from UK, people from Canada, and I was the only Indian. In UK, that guy said that he had fever. He had to wait 3 months to get an appointment.
What?
Then, let me tell you, let me complete. There was this lady, US say lady thi, couple tha, old couple. They said that we have insurance, but it covers only the basic dental care. 6 months or 10 months, they don't get an appointment for a treatment. Currently in India, one MRI, 6 months of wait time in Germany. You can read about it, it's all there. Here, you walk into the clinic, the doctor will check. You walk into a diagnostic center,
They
they'll
will
help
be
you.
available.
Yeah, they're everywhere. There is availability. People are available, and we still defer to take
Why
that
do you think that
advantage.
is? Is affordability an issue?
No, India. I feel more than affordability, it is about the choice. I feel we are very cheap. Currently, Indian healthcare system is very cheap. But of course, because we've delayed or something, the bills can go up and down.
Right.
So, see, when it comes to affordability, people like you and maybe other people who are giving, say, cheap finance or easy finance,
Right.
rather than cheap, easy. It's
Right.
cheap.
Right.
Anything in India, I feel, is cheap.
Right.
So, easy finance,
Right.
you have that choice of getting the treatment done at breakdown prices over the
Into
months
installments.
with
Yeah.
installments.
Yeah.
So I think affordability should not be a problem currently.
Yeah.
I think it's only about the mindset.
Right. But I'll tell you on this note, right? And this is like overall health stats. So in India, people spend upwards of $150 billion on healthcare every year.
Yeah, they do.
अब इंडिया में क्या है कि अगर आप क्लासिकल इंश्योरेंस हेल्थ इंश्योरेंस सेगमेंट अगर आप देखो, सो देर इज वेरी लो, लेट्स से, पेनिट्रेशन ऑफ हेल्थ इंश्योरेंस इन इंडिया. नॉट इवन 5% ऑफ इंडियंस. जैसे आपने टैक्स पेयर का एग्जाम्पल लिया, सिमिलर इज द लेट्स से ट्रेंड फॉर हेल्थ इंश्योरेंस पेनिट्रेशन. अब फॉर एग्जाम्पल समथिंग लाइक डेंटिस्ट्री इज नॉट कवर्ड अंडर ट्रेडिशनल हेल्थ इंश्योरेंस एनीवे, राइट?
Correct.
सो व्हाट एंड्स अप हैपनिंग इज कि अगर मेरे को सपोज कोई एकदम से सडन एक्सपेंस होता है, for example, typical RCT with a good crown will cost you 15,000.
Yeah, roughly.
Roughly.
It could come to much lesser.
10,000 also maybe
Yeah,
sometime. It
8,
can
10.
also go to 30,000 depending upon where
That-
you are availing that treatment. So अब इंडिया में क्या होता है, 85% people make less than 30,000 rupees a month.
I agree.
Now, if somebody were to ask me even 20,000 rupees in one go, तो मुझे लगता है कि यार तो 20,000 rupees मैं कहाँ से लाऊंगा इकट्ठा? So as you rightly said, monthly installment based plans help a lot. But I think that change in India, especially from our humble standpoint, what we see, जो young crowd आ रहा है, जो young Indians हैं, वो इतने ज़्यादा अवेयर हैं क्योंकि उनके पास इतना इन्फॉर्मेशन है.
Yeah.
और वो इसके बारे में पढ़ रहे हैं, शायद हमारा पॉडकास्ट भी देख रहे होंगे.
Hopefully.
So उनके पास इतना इन्फॉर्मेशन है कि वो एक जजमेंट जल्दी बना सकते हैं. They're able to make the right decision.
Yeah.
They probably have more exposure than, let's say, people 20 years back, and they are so sensitive to, let's say, small stimuli that they end up making the decision, and perhaps ecosystem like this can help us guide them towards the right decision.
Correct.
So I think fundamentally when we said that healthcare, so मुझे लगता है healthcare is the biggest sunrise sector.
Correct.
और healthcare में हमने शायद 1 या 2% भी achieve नहीं किया as a country.
Correct.
And let's say today we talk about India becoming a $5 trillion economy.
Correct.
Or like Prime Minister Modi said that another 5 years and we will definitely be a top 3 economy. We are, let's say, a couple of places behind right now. So मुझे लगता है कि अगर Indians healthy नहीं होंगे,
Correct.
अगर वो अपने productive best पे नहीं रहेंगे,
Correct.
anyway as a country we will not be able to perhaps grow.
Exactly. And I agree too.
Yeah.
And see, you need to also compare our older generation, maybe my generation, maybe generation before that. We were exposed to even better environment of living.
Yeah.
So current generation has to take healthcare very seriously.
Yeah.
Problems, you will see current kids having more cavities than the older kids who were born in, say, 80s or 84.
Is that food? Like, this
Yeah,
is very interesting.
food is definitely one of the factor. Because we eat a lot of refined and sugary food.
Okay.
I want to actually comment on the sector where you said that people are taking fitness
Yes.
very seriously.
Yeah.
But outer fitness is just one part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're right.
What about the inner fitness?
Yeah.
And who will check that inner fitness?
Who will check that? Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm glad that this is happening. See, the treatments, what has happened also now, there are 3 factors. Okay. So there's an older generation. One of my patients came and told me कि हमारे time पे we used to give 50 paisa to remove the teeth.
50
3
paisa.
rupees. 3 rupees for a root canal. So we would just do is remove the teeth. So now there's a big generation which does not have teeth. Right? Now their treatments are a little expensive, not expensive compared to other countries.
Because
But
implants will come
yeah,
into the picture.
implants typically will be a little expensive, and treatments can range from 1 lakh to 10 lakhs.
Yeah, we know that.
Now, so I'm just crossing your point that it's not just the new generation that need finances, it's older generation also that needs finance.
Yeah, that's very important. Yeah,
Yeah,
we see
but
that.
a lot of companies are not giving them because of the age factor.
Right.
And unfortunately, as you said, dental insurance is not there. And the
Yeah.
day dental insurance comes, the scenario in this country will change.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, you're right. I think, this is why, for example, why we started building a business focused on healthcare.
Yeah.
And I think we've been working together for a year. So you know that we are going deep into healthcare because मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि healthcare requires a very different kind of treatment while building a business. Because understanding बहुत different चाहिए healthcare के लिए.
आपको है ना 2 जगह पे there is a block at 2 places. One is a block in the patient's mind. हम insurance and loan. हम लोन नहीं लेंगे. Then there is a block in doctor's mind that हमारे patient insurance लेना नहीं चाहते. But the point is that
नहीं, इंश्योरेंस एक्चुअली है ही नहीं.
हाँ, इंश्योरेंस नहीं है, बट हमारे पेशेंट्स लोन नहीं लेंगे.
हाँ.
या so that I think both these people need to make aware that you're spending nothing. Most of y'all are giving 0% EMIs to the
That's
patient.
correct. Yeah.
It's like buying a phone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
you are getting a phone will be changed in 2 years. Healthcare is forever.
No, I think that's a brilliant point that you make. Do you realize that everything in this room,
Yeah.
everything, this sofa, perhaps the clothes we are wearing,
Correct.
Watches
Yeah.
or mobile phones,
Yeah.
or this equipment in front of us,
Yeah.
or cars that we drive,
Yeah.
or education today, everything can come and is being made available on monthly installments.
Correct. And it's easier.
And it's easier, right? And I think, at least we see that a lot of people are warming up to this concept. उनको समझ में आ रहा है कि okay, I can just pay in installments, right?
Correct.
So I think that will definitely make a big impact कि industry evolve कैसे करती है.
Correct.
But I have few interesting questions for you on the
Please
subject of
ask.
dentistry.
Please ask.
Please tell our viewers what are the 5 most interesting dental treatments available out there जो शायद आज से 5-10 साल पहले नहीं थे. जैसे आपने रूट कैनाल का एग्जांपल लिया, that root canal today you can measure the
It's not
length.
today actually. This could like 10 years back.
10 years back. But just tell our viewers
Interesting.
कि जो
cool.
ऐसे 5 ट्रीटमेंट जो मतलब थोड़े एग्जॉटिक हैं और जो लोगों को पता होना चाहिए कि these treatments exist.
Yes.
They should not live with the kind of, let's say, suboptimal results that they are living with. They should explore these treatments. And what are those treatments?
First, aligners. Aligners is taken Indian by boom because ugly braces pen ke you and me cannot walk, right? So at this age, if I want to align my teeth, I need something that is seamless. It is not seam.
So it works across all ages?
Yeah. 60. My oldest patient is 67. If you have a healthy bone, this works.
Okay.
Second and most important, we are fantasized about Bollywood.
Acha.
Most of these Bollywood smiles are not real. Hollywood smiles are not real.
Have you contributed to those smiles?
Yeah, I have a lot of them. I cannot.
Okay.
I cannot
reveal. All right.
But yes, so you can have that smile like your favorite actor or actresses.
How does that happen?
That's called Hollywood smiles.
Okay.
It could be by veneers. It could be just Hollywood smiles. Just snap-on veneers. There's a lot of exotic,
exotic. Yeah.
These are called Hollywood smiles.
Right.
So, आप just snap-on karo. You go to a party, the smile looks good. You come home, remove it off.
So you can remove your smile.
You can remove your
smile. You can put on a smile.
You can put on a smile. Literally.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's there. Then jewelry. Jewelry. Yeah. People in weddings and even here, they just like a diamond. Everybody loves.
Yeah. Bling. Diamonds. Yeah.
Bling.
Yeah.
So you can just put a. And these treatments are absolutely non-invasive, just stuck on the teeth.
Stuck on the tooth.
Yeah. So that is something that a lot of people are doing. So that's very different from, say, a root canal or an extraction. Yeah. This then 2 of the treatments are not really exotic, but I feel are
essential. Okay. What are those?
So I call it as Orthosquare's age reversal dentistry.
Okay.
Over the period, what happens
like
is
dental hacking?
Not really like
okay.
More like See, you have hair loss, right? And you go to a
Right.
hair transplant, and you
Right.
do an hair
Right. Right.
transplant,
Yeah, we do a lot of
and yeah,
those. Yeah.
and the look is changed
Right.
instantaneously, right?
Right.
It changes, just amazing. Now with this treatment, what happens is you have lost a lot of height of your bite. You've lost the facial structure. Your mouth looks smaller, or maybe your teeth look forward. And if you go to my Instagram, you'll see a lot of age reversal dentistry where the life of people have changed just by changing the way their teeth appear now. So we can give you that 20-25 year old smiles even today. It helps and function, it looks, both of that.
Both.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the fifth one, which I feel is very, very important for people to understand, is a lot of pain, orofacial pain. That could be headaches, that could be pain around the face, neck pain, can be or is directly related to a bad bite.
Is this dentofacial orthopedics that you specialize in?
Dentofacial orthopedics is very different. It is
Okay.
for modifying children's
Children's.
jaws.
Ah, okay.
That can be done too. Yeah, so
Okay.
that's exotic.
That's exotic. Yeah.
Yeah, so a
Okay.
6-year-old child comes to us, and
Right.
we can actually move his jaw in the directions we want. So we modify the overall
Structure.
growth pattern.
Growth pattern.
Not structure,
Okay.
growth pattern.
Okay.
So yeah, that is done.
Okay.
And the last what I would say on the list is we can actually help plastic surgeon give you the face cuts you want.
Touch.
These are called maxillofacial surgeries.
Yeah.
Because see, what happens is if you just change the shape, like just move the jaw, it's not going to work. You
Right.
need to have a good bite
Right.
whilst you're doing that.
Holistic.
Holistic.
Yeah.
So yeah, we can do that.
What do you love the most about your job, Dr. Riddhi?
See, I'll tell you very frankly. I am a dentist at heart.
Okay.
Entrepreneur at mind.
And action.
Yeah. And the most important thing is, for me, is always relations. And that I have with my family or my patients. So if you'll talk about my job perspective, you just see that when the salary checks go, how many people's life have you changed by just being a dentist? Why just be a dentist?
So how many let's say
300
people work
employees.
for Orthosquare?
300 employees.
Wow. Okay. Across
And
100 centers.
plus support staff, a lot of them.
Yeah.
Just imagine even a small business like dentistry, it's not a business, it's a service, but
Yeah.
a small treatment like dentistry or small clinics like dentistry, dental clinics
Yeah.
can change so much. So
Yeah.
that is the first thing.
Yeah.
Second, when you give those smiles to the patient and their just life changes.
And they go back.
Just
smiling.
imagine somebody who has not eaten a papad
Hmm.
in 10 years,
Hmm.
and you give them teeth and they can have chana,
Priceless.
like priceless.
Priceless. Yeah.
Priceless. So these are the two aspects that I think makes my life very, very happy. I wake up with that thought that, okay, great. Whose life am I changing? It could be a patient's, it could be doctors or the support staff. It could be yours. Yeah, because you meet so many people from so many different walks of life. You're well educated about everything that's happening.
Yeah.
You know
You get a lot of
about-
information.
You do.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you grow as an individual.
No, that is
Yeah.
lovely. And what are some of the areas that you would like to change if you could? ये थोड़ा different होता या ये अगर हम थोड़ा change करते
मेरी लाइफ का
overall let's say Orthosquare की life
ऑर्थोस्क्वायर की लाइफ में व्हाट आई
आपकी life
फील
का भी हो सकता है
ऑर्थोस्क्वायर की लाइफ का बता देती हूँ हम ना डिजिटल बहुत लेट हुए
अच्छा
सो दैट इज समथिंग दैट आई फील दैट आई कुड हैव बीन डिजिटल वे बैक
right
right, the CRM, the softwares,
right
everything.
right
That is the only thing.
right
See, I'll tell you one thing which I always tell my doctors. They're all frogs. Everybody is a frog because we come out from college and we've learned something and we come out. We're frogs, right? And we're jumping in a well and going nowhere. We should be like chameleons, right? Not a tiger, not a horse.
adapt
Adapt and change. It's not just adapt. I'm green in green environment. I'm brown in brown environment. So, me and my husband, we always have a joke around this that agar hum jhadu wale hote, like, if we were sweeping houses, we would have been the best sweepers,
wow
right? So, you can be happy with the most sad environment and you can be sad with the most happy environment around you. So, I think regrets only make you go low. if you learn from what you didn't like about your life and try and change that,
And the next thing that you do?
yeah, then it's no more failures or no more regrets. It's more about an experience that you had and which is not gone right or maybe not gone your way.
And you've been building also Orthosquare with your husband, right? So
Yeah.
you know husband build it together.
Yeah.
How's that experience? I think this is now the in thing.
Yeah.
Couple entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
Yeah. How does that work?
Going from dentistry to couple goals. There are three things that I think which makes our entrepreneurial journey as husband and wife. It's very bad because when you fight, you carry it home, and then there's a fight throughout because
Yeah.
you're talking about business. So there are two things, and it's very funny. Anything that happens in clinic stays in clinic.
Okay.
Anything that happens at home stays at home. It's very difficult to do, I'm sure, but it's very easy. The second and most important thing as a couple that me and Kunal, I think we are very successful, is understanding each other, understanding our problems, and giving each other respect and space. So, say he's working today and I'm here giving this podcast. I was in Delhi, of course, I was doing work. So, giving that space to each other to grow
Is very
and
important.
yeah, and understanding that together you are better than apart. Because my flaws he completes, his flaws my complete. Very cliche, but that's the fact. You love, you respect, and the most important thing, you give space.
Help the other person grow.
सपोर्ट
Support.
हेल्प नहीं है,
Help नहीं है.
सपोर्ट है. मतलब मुझे अगर इम्प्लांट का कोर्स करना है तो ही लाइक ओके यू लर्न टीच मी.
कितने कोर्सेज किए आपने
बहुत
implants के?
सारे.
मैंने पढ़ा है इसके बारे में.
बहुत सारे.
Yeah, but I
मैं तो आज भी कर सकती
Yeah, so I mean, why? I mean, is it like a never-ending subject? What is so, let's say, romantic about implants?
Romantic about dentistry is rare, but I'll tell you, you cannot not learn every day because there's something new that has come in, and how can I stay not I have to know more.
And do you also teach people?
I do teach.
I think that's a big thing, right? A lot of successful practitioners have now started teaching
the
a
more
lot
you
of.
teach, the more you learn.
The more you teach, the more you learn. Yeah.
Holds true.
Yeah.
The more you teach, the more you grow.
Yeah.
The more you teach, the more you become better.
So what are your big plans for Orthosquare? You have 100 centers, you have 300 people. I think you have touched the lives of lakhs of customers, lakhs
We're the
of
third
patients.
largest dental chain currently.
Wow.
Yeah. And that should come to number one in some time. That should be the first goal. But we are not. We always have a baby steps, which are faster.
Yeah.
Then having long jumps and then getting tired on the
So
second jump.
what does this year look like for you?
Let's see. Hopefully, fingers crossed. In the next 1 year, we should be reaching somewhere near 150 to 200 clinics.
That's very good. Yeah.
Franchising out also, which we've not explored as yet.
Yeah.
Because it's all company owned, company operated.
Right.
So, looking that, growing with people which are like-minded, seeing their growth, it's very simple at Orthosquare. You grow, I grow.
Exactly.
You cannot grow, I cannot grow.
Yeah, we've seen that together working with you.
You grow, I grow is our formula for everything. So it's very important that vision translates till the smallest employee.
Yeah.
They need to understand why we have built Orthosquare.
Okay, so let me ask you another question. What is the next big thing in Indian dentistry as per Dr. Nidhi?
Next big thing in Indian dentistry. So, see, even today, we have not reached in the interiors of India with a good dental healthcare.
Yeah, oral hygiene is like really questionable there. Yeah.
Of course, and also the availability of specialist is not there.
Okay.
So that is something that I would like to contribute to.
Mm-hmm.
That is, I think, what is missing in Indian dental sector. Ecosystem, currently. You come to metro cities and you'll find clinics after clinics.
Yeah, but not the same.
But not in the same in the interiors. That's one part. And we don't have an organized sector of dentistry completely evolved as yet,
Mm-hmm.
right? Our competitors also have very few handful clinics,
Right.
and that actually needs
Needs to
an
change. Yeah.
because currently what is happening at a lot of places is there's a specialist who's coming, and then his charges will be there, then the doctor's charges will be there, so there's a lot of additional charges, overcharges, which unfortunately we cannot avoid. But if you have an organized sector, you can have every specialty under one roof, so the prices can come down, even down with than what it is. We still currently are very very low. But yeah, I feel that organized dental sector, or a complete good corporate, around it, is still missing in
Yeah.
India or in
And
India.
if I were to just add, and I believe that adding a layer of easy availability of payment plans along
That is
with that
definitely.
availability and access, access and affordability, if they can
Hmm.
join hands for Indian healthcare at large,
I agree that
I
too.
believe it would just explode, and people will start consuming it just like how people have bought smartphones.
Yeah, I agree,
For
because
example,
see,
yeah.
sometimes the treatment are so expensive
Yeah,
that they have to sell their assets. Why should you have a need to
yeah,
sell an asset to get a basic
yeah,
healthcare?
yeah,
When companies like you will come in and they can give an easy finance,
yeah.
yeah, it will change that population which cannot
It can
afford.
impact lives, change
Yes,
lives.
it will massively change lives.
Right.
And kudos to you all for doing this, because this is, you'll have still, as I said, that you've not penetrated what you all should have.
No, we are not even 1% of our
1% of the
potential.
penetration.
Yeah.
But for that, I think we as healthcare providers
Yeah,
need to understand that patients need this.
correct.
So, to change this, and the vision that you have started SaveIN with will change when practitioners like me will change their thought
And
processes.
become chameleons, as you said.
They should, definitely.
Okay, so what is the one last thing you would want our viewers to take away from this podcast? If there was just one thing that you would want them to take away about dental, whatever health and wellness, what would you want them to take away?
Um, we always say you are as good as your team. Yeah, have you all heard of that?
Yeah,
Now just imagine body, heart, lungs, teeth, brain, muscles, blood working as a team. You're as good as your team, and that team is inside you. So, for you to be good, for you to last longer in the terms that life में आपको आगे तक काम करना है, you want to work 10 hours a day, that internal team needs to work in sync.
your body is the only thing that lasts your lifetime.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you're as good as your team. So
Yeah.
the internal team जैसे ही अच्छी हो जाएगी, you will be.
सब कुछ ठीक हो जाएगा.
Exactly. Muscle build करने से सब कुछ नहीं होगा.
सब कुछ नहीं होगा.
Yes.
Dr. Riddhi, thank you so much for your time and for all the insights that you've provided to us, to me,
Yeah.
and our viewers. Thank you so much. I think a lot of people will take away a lot of interesting things और बहुत
Correct.
सीखेंगे वो अपनी हेल्थ केयर के बारे में, डेंटल केयर के बारे में.
Correct.
और आपका जो लास्ट लाइन है, that your body has to work as a team, and if the
Correct.
team is good, everything is good.
Excellent.
So thank you very much, and I want to tell our viewers that Dr. Riddhi is available on Instagram.
Yeah.
And what is your handle?
Dr. Riddhi Rathi.
So please follow Dr. Riddhi Rathi, because we do.
Yeah.
And thank you very much for taking the time out.
It was my pleasure indeed.
Thank you.
Chalo, bye.